mentioned your faith. Um, how much of importance was that? Sorry, not was, but how much of importance is that for you today and going forward?
It's extremely important. I really believe that I don't think I would have been able to do what I've done or have done or will do or be here standing and surviving and trying to thrive if it wasn't for my faith to get through a disability your whole life. I mean, I'm almost 43, so some people say, well, you make it look easy. Well, when you've been doing it for 43 years, it kind of does look easy, even though it may not really be. And the world may not see all the struggle that goes in with it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. And then putting a life back together after a horrific first marriage and a divorce at 26, when I did come from a background of faith who we don't really believe in divorce, but yet I'm divorced. So that was really a challenge for me because I mean, people don't go to the altar and say, yay, we're going to get married and in 2 years we're going to get divorced. No, no one does that. Okay.
No one
So
does that.
yeah. So that's not something I ever thought would be a part of my life. So it was really a challenge for me coming to that decision to walk away from a marriage and then try and figure out what I wanted to do with my life after the fact and kind of like what I wanted to carve out for myself when you thought your life was going to go one way and then it doesn't. And then it turned out to be good. And I was with a wonderful man for almost 12 years. And then at the time, 38, going on 43 in November, now find myself at that interesting place in life of I've got to not only put my life back together, but I have my two kids to worry about and make their life good. So same idea, but different in the sense of it's not just me this time.
Did you ever wonder, like why you, right? Like you've had the disability that you're born with, you've had the divorce, you have the deceased spouse. Was there ever a moment in time where you thought, what can be next? Because you already gone through three very impactful situations.
I do. I'm trying to figure. I'm not here to say that I have all the answers. I'm not here to say I have it all figured out. That's not what I'm saying, and that is not accurate. What I am here to say and share is what I have learned because when you do go through any one of those in and of itself, never mind two or three, and then when you put them collectively all together, you hopefully learn something out of it. So it's not a total waste. And if you're a smart person, you probably do. So I've learned a lot, and that's what I feel like is important that if I had to walk this journey, that maybe I've been given a message and some truth and wisdom that's important to share with others because struggle is struggle, difficulty is difficulty, overcoming is overcoming in concept, even though mine may be different from the next. And I've gone through things, some haven't, and they've gone through things that some things I haven't gone through, but it's still the idea we're all overcoming something. So it's the same type of, I don't want toolbox or skill set or, coping mechanisms or, different things that help you get through it, even though the journey may look very differently because it may be a totally different problem from one person to the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why for you, because that's why I like hearing about these experiences, because it's probably someone going through something similar, or they may know someone that's going through something similar, and hearing your story, hearing your journey is going to give them the courage to say that Michaela was able to do this, so I should be able to do this as well. Because as you mentioned, um, you don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but what we do have at our disposal in our tool belt is the experience. And the experience should be shared because the experience will inspire someone else to be just as strong or to be even stronger. From what you've learned, what's something that you'd want to share with the next generation of people that may be going through something similar and they need that guidance or those words of wisdom?
Well, the first one is that it is a choice, and that we don't choose our circumstances. But an analogy I've been using a lot lately is if you're playing a card game like poker or something, you get dealt certain cards, so you don't get to choose the cards that come out of the deck that got handed to you, literally. But you may get to choose a certain card out of your hand that you can play strategically, hopefully, if you're a good poker player. And to hopefully at the end game of winning that hand or any other card game or an artist who you got hired for a job and you're giving this blank canvas with these artistic tools that you may not like because you may be an oil painter or a pastel watercolor person, but they want you to do the other kind of medium of your art and you may not like it, but you still get to choose how you create your art on this blank canvas that you were given or whatever material that you were given to make beautiful things on. So I get to design my journey. I get to define it where I go from here. Now, am I still trying to figure that out? Yeah, but like I said, since the loss of my husband, going on 4 years in April, there's a lot I've figured out. I managed to, um, because we lived in New Hampshire at the time because of his military career, we were 26 hours away from most of our friends and family. So I decided, although had it not been for my disability or my kids being so young, I may have tried to stay in New Hampshire a full year after him passing because most experts say don't make any major decisions until a year, but I didn't have that option. So I moved us across country. I got us set up back in Louisiana where I'm living now, where my parents are, a lot of my friends are, and trying to make a good life for our kids. And I've bought a home and I've published 6 out of the 7 books in the last 2 years post losing my husband. So I'm, finding ways of creating a new life and helping my kids to learn how to thrive and do what they're supposed to do on their own journey when they are of age.
And tell us a little bit about the books. Like how important is it for you to get your message out there through the books?
I've always written. I've never remembered not writing. If I'm not writing, I'm thinking about it. Even when I was a kid, I was a writer. I guess I always felt like I had something to say, and I felt like my words were what I had, and that's what I could offer the world. And I was a little bit of a strange kid. I remember writing an editorial in second grade and submitting it to my local newspaper, and it was on politics. Go figure. What 8-year-old does that? My 8-year-old doesn't even do that. So I don't know. What does that say about me? And then I wrote my first poem in fourth grade. So obviously it's not what I write now, but it was always a part of my life. It's who I am. It's what I do. I can't not do it. Even if I have my writings for the world, but I journal a lot. So I have my own private writing. It's very, I think it's good for the soul. If you're that kind of person that it speaks to you, can be very therapeutic and, cathartic and help you work through things. And because it's just you and the page, there's no judgment, it's yours and yours alone.